Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on ZeroHedge.com written by Tyler Durden, most likely a pseudonym for writers at Zero Hedge, titled Bidenomics Winning. 60% of Americans report their income does not keep up with inflation. Before I get started, I'm going to try and remain politically neutral. I'm telling you this because this article's title mentions Bidenomics. Rather than point fingers at any political party, I think we should closely examine the data presented in this article. The author of this article references a Bankrate survey that revealed over 60% of Americans reported that their wages were lagging well behind inflation. Among workers who did get a raise or better paying job, more than half, 53%, say their earnings lost ground to inflation, up from 50% in 2022. In other words, inflation is still eroding worker gains despite the much-hyped decline in CPI the past few months. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this does not surprise me. The last CPI report that I reviewed showed a drop in energy, but food and shelter were up month after month after month. Most everyday Americans need to pay for food and shelter, and both have gotten more expensive. For those who are renters, they may not have seen their wages increase enough to compensate for their higher rent. This could put some everyday Americans in a difficult position financially. To my point, the author of this article says, and I'll quote, "The situation is actually getting worse by the year. While CPI might show a narrow window in time for inflation, it is diluted by hundreds of consumer categories and services instead of focusing on necessities, where the real price explosion has been." Did you pick up on the part where the author said necessities are where the real price explosion has been? I believe this is one reason that many everyday American people are struggling. My heart goes out to all people who are having a difficult time financially. There are a variety of ways that someone could deal with this. One way is to just hope and pray that it gets better. Another way to deal with this is by increasing your income if your employer lets you work additional hours. If that is not possible, perhaps a part-time job could be something to consider, assuming your primary employer does not have some type of conflict of commitment policy that would forbid you from doing that. Another way to deal with this is to look for ways to live further beneath your means. You may be able to find cheaper housing or look for ways to purchase less expensive food at the grocery store. You may also be able to cut out non-essential purchases in your life to free up cash to allocate toward necessities. Everyone's situation is unique. Some people might benefit from reading Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover book. I've included an Amazon affiliate link to Dave Ramsey's books, including the Total Money Makeover, in the description below. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Perhaps some people are trying to take matters into their own hands by reducing their shelter expenses. I read an article today on ZeroHedge.com written by Tyler Durden titled, "Why Are Searches for Trailer Park Near Me Erupting?" According to the author, Google searches for RV lot near me has hit a 5-year high. The reason for the surge remains unclear, but could be attributed to the worsening housing affordability crisis. The author went on to say, earlier this year, we noticed in several RV industry associations' industry reports that new monthly shipments for park model RVs, otherwise known as trailers, were outpacing last year's levels. Here are my thoughts. This is very interesting information. Perhaps some of these people are priced out of being able to purchase a home, or rent an apartment in their area. In many major cities around the United States, it is not uncommon to find studio and one-bedroom apartments renting for $1,500 or even $2,000 or more per month. With the cost of everything else in life being so expensive, it may simply not be feasible to afford one of these properties. The only scary thing to me about trailers is the property owner could potentially adjust the lot rent to a level that you could no longer afford. Now, if you are fortunate enough to have a trailer out in the country on land that you own, then that is not an issue. For those who have to pay lot rent, this could potentially create a difficult financial situation to deal with. You just never know when the operator of the trailer park is going to potentially raise your lot rent. I hope that everyday Americans who are searching for inexpensive housing are able to locate something that fits their needs and their budget. No one should be housing insecure in our great country, in my opinion. Someone who will probably never be housing insecure is Mark Cuban, especially after allegedly selling the Dallas Mavericks. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Ryan Gatos titled, "Mark Cuban to sell majority stake of Dallas Mavericks to billionaire Miriam Adelson." I'll stop right here for a moment. For those of you who do not know who Miriam Adelson is, she is the widow of Sheldon Adelson, the former CEO and chairman of the casino company Las Vegas Sands. He died at the age of 87 back in 2021. Getting back to the article, the author reports that Adelson said in a Las Vegas Sands filing earlier Tuesday she would sell $2 billion in stock to buy a majority stake in a sports franchise. But no franchise was named in the filing, despite it saying there was a binding purchase agreement. While this is an interesting business transaction, I wonder how this will impact Mark Cuban personally. Owning the Dallas Mavericks has been a big part of his identity for a long time. He has often referenced the fact that he owns the Dallas Mavericks on Shark Tank and when he is referenced in articles and on other television programs. Even Forbes refers to him as the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. It's odd since he made a lot of his fortune by being a tech entrepreneur. I hope he doesn't feel a sense of loss after this transaction. I'm not talking about a financial loss because apparently he is selling the team for a lot more money than he paid for it. I'm talking about a loss of identity since he has probably held his affiliation with the team quite dear for quite a long time. With billions in investments, I am sure he can find a new passion in no time flat. Plus, the author of this article references The Athletic as indicating Cuban would keep shares in the team and run basketball operations. Apparently, this deal still needs to be approved by the NBA, according to the article. I wish Mark Cuban, Miriam Adelson, and the Dallas Mavericks team well during this possible period of transition. While billionaires are making deals between one another, there are some hard-working people losing their jobs. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Pilar Arias titled, U.S. Steel announces plans to lay off hundreds at Southern Illinois mill. According to the author, U.S. Steel issued layoff warnings to 1,000 employees of its Granite City, Illinois mill this week, saying they expect to fire 60% of them due to indefinite idling of iron and steelmaking operations at the facility. I'm going to stop right here and say this is terrible news, especially around the holidays, for those who are being impacted. My heart goes out to these employees, their families, and the town of Granite City, Illinois. When a lot of people lose their jobs, this can often impact the cities where they live, especially if there are not other good employment options which would allow these people to earn a comparable wage in a short period of time. I have lived in areas that have been impacted once companies shut down, and I have seen firsthand how layoffs and company closures can impact communities. To my point, the author of this article says the warnings rocked the local community, which will be severely impacted by the move. It's not just U.S. Steel that is laying off workers. I read an article today on yahoo.com put out by Outdoor Life and written by Katie Hill titled, Rem Arms to Close Historic Remington Gun Plant in Ilion, New York. According to the author, the longest operating gun manufacturing plant in the country will close its doors in March after 195 years of making Remington guns. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is sad to hear about another group of workers who are dealing with this during the holiday season. I hope these people are able to secure new employment that is rewarding to them moving forward. My heart goes out to them and their families. While some Americans may be stressed financially because of what is happening with their employment situation, there are others who are spending money on stickers. I read an article today on CNNbusiness.com written by Peter Valdez de Pina titled, "Broken Window Stickers for Tesla Cybertruck Quickly Sell Out." Well, according to the author of this article, following Thursday's Cybertruck delivery event, Tesla decided to cash in on the embarrassment from 2019 with a broken glass window sticker. The sticker, which is specifically designed to fit the Cybertruck's uniquely shaped window, quickly sold out. The stickers cost $55. Some people are blessed to have enough disposable income to purchase a $55 broken window sticker. I guess this is kind of like people who purchase those stick family stickers for the back window of their vehicles. What do you think about this? Would you spend $55 for a broken window sticker for a Tesla Cybertruck? Are you planning to purchase a Tesla Cybertruck? Let me know in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.